filmed Telltale Heart because we thought it would be interesting and no one else was doing it.
And we filmed certain scenes because we thought they would be entertaining and were important to the story.
Yeah.
True. Nervous, very, very dreadfully nervous I had been and am. But why will you say that I am mad? The disease had sharpened my senses, not destroyed, not dulled them. Above all was the sense of hearing acute. I heard all things in heaven and in the earth. I heard many things in hell. How then am I mad? Hearken, and observe how healthily, how calmly, I can tell you the whole story. I loved the old man. He had never wronged me. He had never given me insult. For his gold I had no desire. I think it was his eye. Yes, it was this. He had the eye of a vulture. A pale blue eye with a film over it. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold. So I made up my mind to take the life of the old man and thus rid myself of the eye forever.
About midnight, he turned the latch of his door and opened it, oh so gently, and then, when he had made an opening sufficient for his head, he put in a dark lantern, all closed that no light shone out, and then he thrust in his head. It took him an hour to place his whole head within the opening so far that he could see him as he lay upon his bed. Ha! Would a mad man have been so wise as this? And then, when his head was well in the room, he undid the lantern cautiously. Oh, so cautiously. Cautiously he undid it so much that a single thin ray fell upon the vulture eye. And he did for 7 long nights. Every night, just at midnight. But he found the eye was always closed, and so it was impossible to do the work. For it was not the old man who vexed him, but his evil eye.
Hello?
What the old man felt, and I pitied him. I chuckled at heart, but I knew that he had been lying awake ever since the first slight noise, when he had turned in the bed, and he had been saying to himself,
There's nothing but the wind in the chimney. It's nearly a mouse crossing the floor.
Although he neither saw nor heard, he still felt the presence of my head within the room. The old man's dead, stone dead.
The neighbors complained about creaking. Is everything okay?
Oh yeah, I just had a nightmare, so I screamed. I'm staying at this old man's house, and he's out of the country.
He showed them his treasures, secure and undisturbed. He placed his own seat upon the very spot beneath which the corpse of the victim lay. The officer conversed on the phone while the man heard a ringing in his ears. They started to chat until the man found out that the noise was not just within his ears. It was a low, dull, quick sound, and yet the officer had not heard it. He started talking in a high-key voice and with more violent gestures, but the noise steadily increased. He started to pace the floor to and fro with heavy strides, as if excited to fury by the observations of the men, but the noise steadily increased. He swung the chair upon which he had been sitting and grated it upon the floor. It grew louder and louder, Had the officer not heard it? Eventually the man realized the ringing in his ears was the beating of the old man's heart. Billings! I admit that he tear up the planks, the beating of his hideous heart!
Bad. The disease had sharpened my senses. Okay, why you gotta laugh? All right, I was doing good. I just felt the awkwardness. Oh no! 1, 2, 3.
Go again. No, that's bad.
Keep going. Okay, ready? Go.
We did this because we thought it'd be interesting and no one else was doing it.
Pale blue eye with a film over it. Whenever it fell upon me, I had many things in hell. I'm sorry.
It's nearly a mouse crossing the floor.
Although.
The neighbors complained about I couldn't do it. The neighbors.
What was that?
The neighbors complained.
I knew you were gonna laugh. I can't do it.
The neighbors.
I was looking at the badge too.
The neighbors complained about shrieking. Is everything okay?
Oh yeah, that was just me. I'm staying at this guy's house and he's out of the. I forgot my lines.
I know, but